On episode 446 of Nintendo SwitchCraft, Indie World was awesome. Rest in peace, my wallet. Tetris 99 is getting a brand new mode, and the Game Awards are tomorrow. Those stories and more on this episode of Nintendo SwitchCraft.
Hey, this is Bobby Blackwell from the Voice of Geeks Network at VogNetwork.com, and you're listening to Nintendo SwitchCraft.
Welcome back, everyone, to Nintendo SwitchCraft, the place where you get all of your Nintendo news. Thanks for hanging out with me. SwitchCraft is brought to you live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can tune in live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. And this episode of SwitchCraft is made possible by patrons like you. Get SwitchCraft and all of my other content ad-free for as little as $1 by joining the Patreon over at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. And if you want to leave a voicemail like you heard at the top of the show, you can call in to the show using runjumpstomp.com/voicemail from any device. I may even play it on the show. That one was not a call-in. That one was me and Bobby were actually at Dragon Con, and we met, and I just held my phone up to his face while he said it. So let's get started. Let's talk about Nintendo. Yesterday, they had the Indie World for December 10th, 2019, and it was pretty damn good. There were a lot of games that they showed off that I wanted, and my wallet was looking at it and saying, okay, this is in 2020, this is in 2020. 2020 is going to be a really, really good year if you are a fan of indie games. So let's talk about the games that were announced at it. So I'm going to go with probably the biggest announcement of the whole thing. As far as indie games go, the biggest announcement was probably Axiom Verge 2. Now, if you don't know what Axiom Verge is this really, really cool side-scrolling Metroidvania game. It feels like Metroid. You are like this dude who is wearing like a lab coat, and you get pulled into this world, and you have to figure out what's going on, and you've got this awesome gun, and you've got these cool abilities that can turn you into like a little thing, almost kind of like Samus's when she turns into a ball and rolls under stuff. You can turn into like this little robot. You've got this ability to kind of phase through the walls and stuff like that. It's a really fantastic game. Now, if you have been claiming those free games on the Epic Games Store, like, hey, listen, even if you don't have a PC that's capable of running most games, go ahead and make an Epic Games Store account. Install the Epic Games Store on your PC, and then just claim the games. And maybe someday you'll get a better computer and you'll have access to all these games. Well, Axiom Verge is one of the games that they gave out for free on the Epic Games Store, so you can try this out for yourself. I'm very, very excited for it. However, it's not coming until, I think they said, fall next year, so we've got a long way to go before it comes out. I anticipate we'll probably see more about it at E3. The footage that they showed us looked fantastic, although it looks like you're playing as some other character. So it says fall 2020, and it'll explore the origins of the Axiom Verge universe, which is a really, really weird universe that Tom Happ has made. All right, let's talk about some other games that are coming. And this is I took notes on my iPad, but then I never got around to sending those notes over to my PC so I could have them in front of me while I was. You know what I should do? I should just grab my iPad. Let me grab my iPad real quick, and I can read off of my notes instead of looking at somebody else's. It'll only take a sec. While I'm getting that out, let me talk about. Oh, shoot. What is the name of that game? Oh, yeah. Sports Story. Now, if you didn't know, Golf Story is this awesome RPG that came out last year on Nintendo Switch. And it was super, super fun. Even if you're not a fan of golf, that game is really, really fun. So I would recommend it to just about everybody. It's really fun. Now, they're making a sequel, and that sequel is called Sports Story. And this is what they opened the indie world with. They started with Sports Story, and the first thing that I noticed, I was like, oh my God, they're making Golf Story too. And then he starts playing tennis, and then volleyball, and then golf mixed with tennis, mixed with soccer. And I was like, what is going on here? And that's when they said, oh, it's Sports Story. Now, this is an exclusive for Nintendo Switch. It's not going to be on any other platform. It comes out mid next year, so I anticipate this is, yes, mixed with toasters, Johnny Link. That's correct. I anticipate that this game is going to be one of those games where Nintendo will do their E3 Direct like they always do, and then they're going to say, oh, and by the way, this is available now. And that's my guess, is that Sports Story is going to be one of those games that is available now on Nintendo Switch next year. But hey, it is completely enable on, okay, and it sure. It is completely awesome, and I'm very, very excited for Sports Story. And listen, if you listen to my show for any length of time, you know I'm not a sports fan. So this is not about sports. It's about the gameplay, and the gameplay was fun in the first one. All right, Streets of Rage 4 was the next thing that they showed off. I'm extremely excited for this. Streets of Rage is one of my favorite brawling games. It's super, super good, incredibly fun, and really well done. It's got a great soundtrack, without a doubt. Wonderful soundtrack for Streets of Rage. Make sure that you check that soundtrack out. But Streets of Rage 4, I'm like, nobody's had a new Streets of Rage game for a really long time. We haven't had a new Streets of Rage game. So when this got announced a while back, a lot of us, myself included, were very surprised. And I have to say that what I saw, I was like, okay, I love the art style. They could have easily have gone with an art style that was more along the lines of the original, which was, pixelated 16-bit, because that's when that stuff came out. And instead, they decided to go with more hand-drawn sprites, which just look fantastic. The animation overall of Streets of Rage 4 looks really, really good, and I'm looking forward to playing that. That comes out the first half of 2020. Then we've got a game called Gleamlight, which is this side-scrolling, I guess I would describe it as a side-scrolling platformer. It doesn't have any UI, and that's coming out early 2020. I didn't really have any real reaction to it other than, okay, cool. Then they had Bake and Switch, which is this four-player couch co-op game about food. Very much reminded me of Overcooked, which I thought was interesting. I like Overcooked a lot. We'll see if Bake and Switch stands up to the the reputation of Overcooked. It's going to be pretty tough. Now, one of the games that I was most excited for, and I'm not going to go through every single game. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I found interesting. But one of the games that I was most excited for was this game called Super Mash, which is basically this really weird idea where you select two genres, and the game puts them together and lets you play this new game. It's a game that makes games, is basically what they said. And then you can take the codes from these games and share them, so you can it procedurally generates the game each time. And then when you beat the game, you get these things called developer cards, which you can then use. I didn't really understand what you're supposed to do with these, but it's something that you do something with these developer cards in order to change the game and make it different. I think it sounds really cool and interesting. This seems like a day one purchase for me. However, it comes out in May next year, and it all depends on what games are coming out around that same time. I hope that Super Mash can get some time in the spotlight, and it just doesn't get drowned out by all of the other games that are coming out next spring, early summer. I'm going to skip over Sail Forth because it didn't really seem interesting to me. One of the biggest announcements from the indie world is that Dauntless is now on the Nintendo Switch. You can actually download it now. I have not downloaded it yet. I probably won't because I have to say Dauntless already runs pretty bad on most platforms. It's an awesome game, don't get me wrong. It's really good. It's like Monster Hunter, but they teach you how to play, which is which is kind of important. But for me, it just kind of runs not great on my computer. It doesn't run great on my PS4. I assume it's going to run kind of really bad on the Nintendo Switch. That being said, your account is what you log in with your. This is a free game, and your account, like, cross save is a thing. So if I'm playing on the PS4, I'm playing on the PS4. I make my progress in whatever game I do. I log off. I get on the computer. I log in, and sure enough, works awesome. You know, it's the same game. I shut off my computer. I turn on my Switch, and I can log in and play that same character, the same game, the same stuff. Sure, it doesn't look as good, but now it's portable. And that's really the selling point of having Dauntless on the Switch. I think that it looks really fantastic, or not looks fantastic. It doesn't look that great, but I think it's really fantastic what they are doing in order to do cross save. I think it's just really, really good, and I applaud them for doing that. All right, the next one, I'm going to skip that one. Skatebird. Oh my God, Skatebird looked so fun. You are basically like little parakeets riding on little miniature skateboards. The quarter pipes that you would skate on, those quarter pipes are made out of bent magazines, like Thrasher magazine. Is so adorable and ridiculous in the same sentence. I love the look of Skatebird, and it reminds me of, you know, the like SSX Tricky, which I used to play all the time, or oh gosh, what's the name of the Tony Hawk skateboard games, which I never played those, but I've heard fantastic things about them. Looking at this made me think of that. Made me think of Skate, which I really liked on the Xbox 360. I thought Skate was really cool. So overall, Skatebird looks awesome. That comes out late 2020. Then we've got Survivalist. Whoops, I didn't mean to check that off. Survivalist is the last one that I'm going to talk about. It's a procedurally generated game where it's got like base building, and you can train monkeys to do stuff, and you build your base to defend your area against whoever is going to attack you. And overall, I just think it looks really good. It takes place in the same universe as The Escapists. I don't know what that really means. As somebody who's only played The Escapists like passively, like just a little bit, like my son and I played a little bit, I didn't really realize that this was like a universe. I just thought it was a game, you know? But overall, I thought that this game looked really cool. I like the idea of building a base and then defending it against enemies. You know, reminds me of Minecraft, reminds me of Terraria, that kind of thing. I find that to be interesting. Of course, you know, there's a lot less to it than Minecraft or Terraria, at least from what I first saw. Anyway, I thought that that was really cool. There was a bunch of other stuff in the indie world. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm curious, what games in the indie world yesterday did you think were the coolest? Like, which ones are making your wallet jump out of your hand? I want to know. If you are watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comment section down below, or get a hold of me on Twitter or you know, wherever. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear from a sponsor, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Game Awards and Tetris and a whole bunch of other stuff. Stick around.
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
All right, let's start with Nintendo Versus, which is an official Nintendo account about like esports and stuff like that. They tweeted out this this tweet about Tetris 99, which, if you've been watching the show for any length of time or listening to the show, you know Tetris 99. I love Tetris 99. That game is so much fun. Well, it got a new update. I have not downloaded it because I was at work today and I didn't have time to play yesterday. But Tetris 99 got a new update, and version 2.1.0 is available now. And basically, the way it works is you choose one of 4 teams and compete to be the last squad standing. Also in this update are new button config options, user emblems, and an option to redeem 4 themes from past Maximus Cup events. Now, first off, that last thing is huge. Being able to get the old events that you missed because you were busy that day, I think that's awesome and very, very exciting. But the best part of this whole thing is teaming up with other people and playing with friends. So if you haven't already and you're looking for somebody to join or to play this with, join the Discord. Go to runjumpstomp.com/Discord. Once you're over there, there's a channel called LFG. And in the LFG channel, you can say that you're looking for somebody to play Tetris 99 with, and I'm sure that we can all get together and hang out. And, you know, Johnny Link in chat is making a good point. Nintendo's letting us change controls? Well, it seems like it. I don't know that I would change any controls in Tetris 99. I'm interested to see what the options are. Again, I haven't had a chance to check it out myself, but Tetris 99 is one of my favorite games. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, which is $20 a year, then you get Tetris 99 with your subscription. It's a super, super fun game, and I'm looking forward to trying out the team. Maybe I'll try doing a team thing later today. I don't know if I have time. We do have Taekwondo later tonight that I'm supposed to go to with my wife, and my son and I are supposed to go to Taekwondo, but it's supposed to snow here, so we might not be going. And if we don't go, then maybe I'll have time for that. But I also did get a review code for King Knight, so maybe I'll have to do that instead. I've actually got like 4 review codes today, so I got a lot of work to do. Let's shut up and move on. Reggie Fils-Aimé. You didn't think we were done hearing about Reggie Fils-Aimé. Reggie Fils-Aimé is going to be at the Game Awards. The Game Awards tweeted out that Thursday night, Reggie returns to the Game Awards. Don't miss it live around the world. Now, if you are new to the show and you've not really been paying attention to Nintendo for a very long time, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. Dang it. There we go. I just wanted to follow them. Reggie Fils-Aimé was the president of Nintendo of America. He was also their chief operating officer, and he retired earlier this year. He was followed by Doug Bowser, who is now the president. And, I know that he's the president. I don't know if he's also the COO. Anyway, he's the big wig at Nintendo of America now, but Reggie was the big wig at Nintendo of America for a really, really long time. As long as I have been covering Nintendo, Reggie has been, and well before that, Reggie has been in charge of Nintendo of America. And he's the guy who, you know, he's the meme generator. He's hilarious. He is very, very personable, and he's going to be at the Game Awards. And I don't know what this means, and I would love to hear all of your predictions, because he doesn't work at Nintendo anymore. I can't imagine him going to the Game Awards and making an announcement that is not Nintendo related. But what Nintendo thing do you think he might be talking about? Of course, there's going to be people who are going to immediately jump to Metroid and Mother, and they're going to say Nintendo's going to announce those things, and Reggie wanted to be able to come back to announce those things because he's been asked about those things a million times. And I just don't know what he's going to do. Fisto in chat says, I predict he will troll announce Mother 3. The Reginator is the next Smash fighter, is what Lloyd is talking about. And that's a possibility. But, I mean, he already is a Smash fighter through, like, the Mii Fighters thing. Wouldn't that be cool if he was an actual, like, had his own moveset? I think that would be fantastic. Speaking of the Game Awards, I probably won't be, depending on what happens tomorrow, which is all kind of up in the air right now. I would love to be able to co-stream the Game Awards on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I have other obligations that I'll probably end up doing, but weather dependent, we don't know what's going to happen. So, if you want to watch it, I will probably host it, and if I host it, then you'll be able to watch it here on the Twitch channel and have a chat that is not filled with everybody's nonsense. And I want to thank real quick London Gamer and Bowser 13 for their subscribing with Prime, Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for subscribing here. You guys are awesome. And they just gave me a little it looks like a corgi in a Rudolph suit or something as an emote. So thanks for that. That's really nice of you. All right. I've got 3 more stories. I'm looking at my time. I'm okay. I can do this. Payday 2. I got some bad news for you guys. Overkill Software are the people who have been making Payday 2. I got some bad news. They are no longer going to be updating the Nintendo Switch version of Payday 2. Now, the reaction that most people had when they saw this is, what is the surprise? They've kind of always been bad with consoles. Like, they haven't really done a good job with their console games. And I just wanted to let people know that they posted something in order to explain their reasoning. So here's what they have to say about the Nintendo Switch version. They said, "We're very sad to announce that Payday 2 for Nintendo Switch will be very unlikely to see further updates, despite what our initial ambitions were. On the contrary, as per above, we've been forced to make many hard decisions along the road, and this is yet another. To put the Switch version separately into context, the transfer of the game over to the Switch platform was not made in-house and would require significant further investment to happen. We are very aware that this was undesired news, but we'd rather be clear and set expectations now." Okay. Well, first off, I think it's good that they are getting out in front and saying, hey, we're not going to do this. Let's let everybody know that we're not going to do this. Secondly, I guess that my second reaction would be, you should have done it in-house then. And, I think it's bad. This is bad. And I think that people who have recently bought Payday 2 might be interested in returning it. However, if you bought it like ages ago, because the game has been out for a while, it's just kind of, I don't know. It feels kind of dirty that the PlayStation and Xbox and PC versions are going to continue to get updates, but the Nintendo Switch one isn't, because they hired another company to do the port. You would think that if they were going to hire another company to do the port, then it's not like they didn't know that suddenly that company wouldn't be around to do the updates. So why didn't they just do the port themselves? I don't know. I just wanted to let people know about it. Is it a big deal? Maybe. Maybe to you it's a big deal. I think for most people it's not a big deal. And the reason why I suspect that is because if it was a big deal to a lot of people, that would mean that a lot of people bought it. And if a lot of people bought it, then they would probably find the way to support it. Maybe Payday 2 on the Nintendo Switch just didn't sell very well. I don't know. Let's move on. I've got 2 deals, that I want to tell you about. The first one is that the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is currently on sale for $55. This is a very good deal. If you didn't already follow me on Twitter, I'm at RunJumpStomp on Twitter. Go there, click on the link, or you can go to the show notes, which are at runjumpstomp.com, and this is episode 446. And you can find the link there to the show notes, but it's on sale for $55. I think that's a great deal for a Pro controller. If I didn't have the SN30 Pro Plus, I probably would say that the Pro controller is my favorite. Well, okay. The Pro Controller is the best Nintendo Switch controller, without a doubt, because it has all of the features. The most comfortable and my favorite controller for the Nintendo Switch is the SN30 Pro Plus by 8BitDo. However, that doesn't have all the features, and this has all the features, and it's $55. This is a steal. Listen, speaking of really good deals, we also have this. Somebody dropped this into the Discord, and I thank you for that. Kubek Games, they publish a bunch of different games, and they are giving away 10 games in 10 days. So basically, step one, you have to own any game that has been released by Kubek Games on the Nintendo Switch, and you have to own it before December 15th. Today's the 11th, so you have time, okay? So that's step one. Step two, you get to download Robonauts. If you own any Kubek Games game, if you own any game by Kubek Games, that's how I should phrase it, then you can now download Robonauts for free between December 10th and 15th. Now, that's an awesome game. Robonauts is this cool side-scrolling, it's almost like you have to defeat waves of enemies, and you have like these different planets that you are on, and you can jump from one planet to the other, kind of like Mario Galaxy, if that makes sense. It's a 2D game, and basically you have to go around all of the planets and kill all of the enemies, and then it takes you to the next set of planets, and you do it all over again. It's a fun multiplayer game, and you get to get it for free if you own any Kubek Games game. So let's see what else. This starts the chain reaction of free games that you can get. Step 3, download the next game on the list on the day it becomes available. Remember to get all the previous games. And so what games are the ones that we're going to be getting? So Robonauts is the first one. And then Geki Yaba Runner Anniversary Edition. I've never heard of this. I don't know that one. But hey, it's a free game, so what do you care? Then Puzzle Book is on the December 17th. I don't care about that. One Strike is this really weird side-scrolling fighting game where you kill whatever you attack. The enemy, the other person that you're playing against. When you hit them once, they're dead. And so it's very much like you have to block with the sword and try and get an attack in on them while not leaving yourself too open to attack. It's very interesting. It's free. Again, who cares? Pick it up for free. Wrecking Ball Adventure. They don't have they got the apostrophe after instead of having a G. Coloro, either of those two games I don't know anything about. Race Die Run. Race Die Run is a really fantastic game. I did a first look at that on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/runjumpstomp. And for Race Die Run, it looks like an F-Zero clone, but it doesn't play like an F-Zero clone. Basically, it's almost like an endless runner that ends, if that makes any sense. And you're in like this futuristic race car, and you have to get to the end of the track in order to go to the next track. It's very, very fun, and I recommend it. That one's free on December 21st. Wrecked, R-E-K-T, is free on the 22nd. I don't know anything about that. Mana Spark is free on the 23rd. And then on Christmas Eve, they have a mystery game that is to be announced. So those are the games that are what are these? Get 10 games. That's the anniversary special. Okay. And so you might want to know, which game can I buy from Kubek Games in order to get all this stuff? And I would say, I'm looking at the games that they have available. The one that jumps out to me as really fun is Not. That's N-O-T, Not. It's 50 cents right now, 49 cents actually. This is really a weird game. The way that it works is you are like this little person standing on a giant cube, and the cube will have words on it and colors along the sides. And you have to decide, okay, if it says blue, I have to run to the blue side. If it says red, I have to run to the red side. If it says up, I have to run up. If it says down, I have to run down. If it says not right, then I can run up, down, or left. But if I run right, I lose. So It's really fun to play this. It's very, very frustrating and awesome. And like they might say not right, which means now you have to run right. And they, so they've got really weird combinations of things that they might say. If it says nothing, then you have to sit there and do nothing. If you do anything, you will lose. They might say not red, then red. So that means you have to do nothing and then run to after the timer runs out, then go to the red side. They might say green and right, or they might say green or right, and then you get to decide if you can go to the green side, which is on the left. And then it's a weird game, and it says it's $1.99 on Nintendo's website, but according to Kubek's website, it's going to be on sale starting today until tomorrow. So if you're listening to this after the fact, I apologize, but it'll be on sale sometime tomorrow. It's 75% off, and it's 50 cents. So how much is it really? It's really cheap. I'm going to do the math. I think it's $2, right? Yeah, so it's a $2 game most of the time. I would say pick up Not because it's awesome for $2, and you get all this other stuff for free. That's my advice to you. All right, let me get back to my show notes because I closed them. And that's it for today's episode. I think we got all of the stuff done, and I went a little long, so I apologize for that. Listen, become a part of the community. Join us over at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. If you didn't know, this show is part of the Giant Size Team Up Network, so make sure that you check out those other shows. I'm actually going to be on an episode of Breaking the Panel tonight with the guys at Giant Size Team Up. I think we are going to be talking about like YouTube shenanigans, and there was something else that we were going to talk about, and I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head, but that's okay. So make sure you go to gstu.net and check out the other shows there. And then finally, if you want to support the show, go to runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. The music you're hearing right now is Corneria's Star Fox remix by Noteblock. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you all next time. Until then, bye-bye.